Have you ever felt like you're working incredibly hard but not getting the financial results you want? It's a frustrating feeling, right? You're putting in the hours, grinding away, but your bank account just doesn't seem to reflect your effort. What if I told you there's a simple, powerful principle that could completely change the game for you? A secret that the wealthiest people in the world have been using for over a century to multiply their success. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme or a complicated financial strategy. It's a universal law known as the 80-20 rule, or the Pareto Principle. And today, I'm going to break down exactly how you can apply this rule to unlock new levels of wealth in your own life. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll see your time, your energy, and your money in a whole new light. So, what exactly is the 80-20 rule? It was discovered by an Italian economist named Vilfredo Pareto back in the 1890s. He noticed that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by just 20% of the population. He then saw this pattern everywhere. In his garden, 80% of the peas came from just 20% of the pea pods. The core idea is simple. In many situations, roughly 80% of the results come from only 20% of the effort. It's a principle of imbalance. This isn't just an old economic theory. It's a powerful tool for modern life. Think about it. 80% of your phone usage probably comes from 20% of your apps. 80% of the wear and tear on your carpet is in 20% of the area. Once you start looking for it, you'll see the 80-20 rule everywhere. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How does this apply to making money? This is where it gets really transformative. The 80-20 rule suggests that 80% of your income likely comes from just 20% of your activities. Take a moment and let that sink in. A small fraction of what you do is responsible for the vast majority of your financial success. The first step is to identify that critical 20%. You need to become a detective in your own financial life. If you're an employee, what are the key tasks that get you noticed, lead to promotions, or earn you bonuses? It's probably not answering every single email or attending every meeting. It's the high-impact projects, the client relationships that bring in the most business, or the unique skills that only you can provide. If you run your own business, this is even more direct. Which 20% of your products or services generate 80% of your revenue? Who are the 20% of your customers that give you 80% of your sales? It's rarely an even split. Often, a few star products or a core group of loyal clients are the true engine of your business. Your mission is to find out exactly what and who they are. Once you've identified your high-value 20%, the next step is simple but powerful. Do more of it. Double down on what works. If a certain type of project brings you the most recognition and reward at work, proactively seek out more of those projects. Pitch your ideas. Show your boss you can handle more of that high-impact work. Make your 20% your absolute priority. For business owners, this means focusing your marketing efforts on your best-selling products. Spend more time nurturing relationships with your top customers. You could even create special offers or loyalty programs just for them. The goal is to amplify the activities that are already proven to deliver the best results. Stop spreading your energy thin across 100 different tasks and concentrate it where it matters most. Now here comes the part that might feel a little uncomfortable at first. You need to ruthlessly cut back on the other 80%. These are the low-value activities that consume most of your time but produce minimal results. The time-wasting meetings, the administrative tasks you could delegate, the clients who take up all your time but generate little revenue. This requires honesty and discipline. You need to learn to say no. No to distractions, no to tasks that don't align with your financial goals, and no to opportunities that seem okay but aren't great. Think of your time and energy as your most precious assets. The 80-20 rule teaches you to stop investing them in things that offer a poor return. This could mean delegating tasks to others, using automation tools for repetitive work, or even firing unprofitable clients. It feels scary, but it frees up an enormous amount of time and mental space. This newfound capacity can then be reinvested into your high-impact 20%, creating a powerful cycle of growth. You're not working harder, you're working smarter. Let's talk about investing because the 80-20 rule is incredibly relevant here too. Many legendary investors like Warren Buffett have a portfolio where a huge portion of their gains comes from a very small number of superstar investments. They don't bet on 100 different things equally. They do their research, find a few exceptional opportunities, and invest heavily in them. For you, this means resisting the urge to chase every hot stock tip. Instead of trying to be an expert in everything, find an area you understand well. Identify the 20% of investment opportunities that have the highest potential for long-term growth based on solid fundamentals. This disciplined, focused approach is often far more successful than frantically trying to catch every wave in the market. It's about quality over quantity. Let's put this all together with a practical example. Imagine a freelance graphic designer named Alex. Alex tracks their time and income for a month and discovers that 80% of their income comes from just 2 clients who need high-value branding packages. The other 80% of Alex's time is spent on small, low-paying logo tweaks for a dozen different clients and endless administrative work. Using the 80-20 rule, Alex decides to make a change. They politely inform their low-paying clients that they're now focusing on larger projects. This is scary, but it frees up 20 hours a week. Alex then uses that time to network with marketing agencies that need branding work and to create an amazing portfolio showcasing their best projects. Within a few months, Alex lands 2 more high-value clients, effectively doubling their income while working the same or even fewer hours. That's the power of 80-20 in action. This isn't about being lazy or cutting corners. It's about being strategic and effective. It's about recognizing that not all effort is created equal. The world will constantly try to pull you into the trivial many, the 80% of tasks that feel busy but don't move the needle. Your job is to stay focused on the vital few, the 20% that truly creates value and wealth. Start today. Take out a piece of paper and brainstorm. What are the 20% of activities in your job, your business, or your investments that are generating 80% of your results? And what is the 80% of clutter you can start to eliminate? The answers might surprise you. Applying the Pareto Principle is a journey, not a destination. It requires constant analysis and adjustment. But by embracing this simple rule, you can stop trading time for money and start creating real, sustainable wealth. You can achieve more by doing less, but doing it with incredible focus. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has given you a new framework for thinking about your financial future. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more content designed to help you build a richer life. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What's one thing from your 80% that you're going to cut back on this week? Let's chat down below. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.